say goodbye. It's been good, KLR. It's been real good. I should probably fill you guys in on exactly what's going on and why I'm now getting another bike, even though I just got the XR. This one I noticed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's posted for just about the same price that I've got this listed at. And one day I kind of thought about it and figured, you know what? Rather than trying to sell this, why not see if he wants to trade? And lo and behold, not only does he want to trade, but he's seen the bike in videos before and seems like he's pretty pumped about it. So he rode about an hour like I did and is supposed to be meeting me at the Citgo here. We're a little early for once in my life. Oh, he still beat me here though. I have no idea where I am. I guess we'll just go this way. Woo! Need to extend that lever maybe? Maybe not. Seat concept seat is nice. It feels a lot different than the one on the XR. Definitely feel like I'm sitting on this instead of inside of it like the KLR, and I definitely feel much higher up too. Honestly, if I look up, my helmet kind of covers up the bike and I can't even see anything. It's like there's nothing there. It's so strange. I suppose the XR does have kind of a high front end compared to the rest of the bike, where this is sort of lower. And I mean, obviously the KLR, there's a lot more KLR there than there is DR in front of me. But definitely rides nice. It doesn't feel as aggressive as the XR, but still, I mean, obviously just a much lighter ratio weight compared to horsepower than the KLR, and especially my KLR. That's almost 500 pounds, like 490 with the crash protection on it. This is just going to feel different. I mean, there's no two ways about that. They are very different bikes, and I always thought of the XR and the KLR and the DR being, you know, in the same class, and like, of course, I always knew that they weren't. And maybe you guys are all laughing at me, and I'm the only one that didn't really realize how different they were. But man, I mean, actually getting on them and riding them and seeing them next to each other, I mean, they are so different. The KLR is really not worth, I shouldn't say it's not worth comparing. Of course it's worth comparing, but it's not, they are not the same type of bike. They are very different. Brake check. Oop, front end dives. Oop, we're in. I guess that's second. How about a takeoff? Do I have a KLR behind me now? Oop. Pulls the front end up a little bit. Yeah, certainly no XR, but definitely not a KLR either. I mean, kind of in between the two, which is about what I expected. You try to run me over? Ooh! I think there was a bit of power there I hadn't found originally. Yeah, she's got some get up. Well, cool. I'm excited. Really excited for the cold ride home, but that's not really true. I'll crank all the heated gear up and I'll be fine. Feels kind of like Jason's DR. I mean, of course, it's the same bike, but it just feels, I don't know, more connected to the road and less sloshy. And I mean, I think that's partially just oh, look at all the geese. Partially just because there is, you know, less fuel in the tank and less tank for it to slosh around in. Should probably find a spot to turn around here. So this does have almost 6,000 miles on it. I would have looked up the interval for changing or for inspecting the valves. However, I never actually do anything like that anymore. I pretty much just show up and buy it. I spent so many years worrying so much about stuff, and half the time I just end up finding problems when I get home anyways. So as long as there's nothing blatantly, glaringly wrong, I'll figure the rest out later. It's just a motorcycle. Most of the parts can be replaced. Really looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. Nice and clean. Skid plates, we shouldn't have any issues on the bottom. Fork seals aren't leaking. Doesn't seem like there's gas leaking out of it. So, the rest isn't too big of a deal to figure out. On, not reserve. Alright, let's go see if he wants the KLR. It definitely grabs right away. There's space in there though. It's always weird jumping on a different bike. Mostly just, I mean, of course just in general, but also just the different things like clutch pull and that sort of thing. Yeah, this feels like another grunty bike. It's so weird how, or interesting, I guess, how you can feel the motor through the bike. This is kind of neat, and it's definitely not in a bad way. I don't feel vibrated to death or anything yet. Actually, it's incredibly smooth at 60 when I'm not on the throttle. We'll have to see how that goes on the way home. As soon as you let on that power, though, you can tell she's ramping rattling along. What gear is it that goes out on these or can be weak? Is it second? I think so. That's first. Seems plenty strong. Also plenty strong. How about third? Well, what'd you think? Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, I had a Jet. What year did you have? 18. It seems like a lot of people, like when they first came out, they're like, oh, it's a road bike. You know, they wrecked it. Or I think it's way better. I'll take it if you want to trade. Yeah, I like it a lot. Cool. All right, well, let's do some paperwork, I suppose, huh?